Today we are going to continue building our little Italian village on the ColdCraft server by building a giant tower right there in the middle as our portal tower, and then building a few more houses to finally make some more progress on the town square. But before we do that, I first want to do some terraforming work right here beneath the castle. And in the next episode I'd like to get started on building this castle. So let's grab some stone blocks and then we can get starting by building the foundation for this castle. Where we should have some shulker boxes right here and a lot of stone right there. Awesome. So I'm just gonna take all of that with me and we're gonna get started with a nice little intro time lapse for today's episode. So let's get started. And while I'm getting started by building some custom mountains for the castle to later sit on, I just quickly want to remind you guys that if you enjoyed these types of videos, make sure to leave a like as well as subscribe to this channel, as it helps me out a ton and makes it so that I can make more content like this. And after finishing the main cliff, I decided to kind of have this lowered part with the walkway down by the water, and then I just got the inspiration to put like kind of this arched cliff over top of the walkway. So I kind of did that, and I'm not super happy with it, but it's just some rough terraforming and we're gonna get back to that eventually and detail it up. But I am also starting by placing in some dirt where we'll later have some vineyards. But let's get back into first person. Now this is looking really cool, I do have to say. And we have this walkway down here with the cliff to our right, as well as this little arch right here. I don't know, this is just really rough terraforming, so as you can see this looks really bland and boring. But overall I'm quite happy. But no more talking around, let's now get started on building the tower. But first we gotta look through all of the shulker boxes, because I know that I have all of the materials somewhere. I'm just not sure where exactly. Ah, home sweet home. And let's quickly check if we have made any sales. Nope, doesn't look like it. Maybe I left them in here. Oh, that's a lot of empty shulker boxes. But that does look like the right shulker boxes to me. Yep, that looks pretty good. But first we gotta get rid of all of the pink wool and actually replace it with the correct shape. Which looks a bit weird right now, but trust me guys, trust the process. So basically what I want to have here is a nice little floor made of stone like this. And then if we come to the front, I kind of want to have it, you know, in a staircase. And right here where all of this quartz is, I want to have kind of like this roofed section. And then all of the brick is gonna go up like, I don't know, 50 blocks maybe up into the air. And this will be the main tower itself. But I do have to say, the view from up here, it's pretty great. So let's check this out. Oh yeah, that looks great already. I really like that. But we're missing a block up there. Much better. But as you guys can see, this is what it looks like from the inside. We have this little roofed area I talked about earlier. We can still drop down into our storage system and get back up. And also the first section of the tower is also done. And if we just quickly look at the skyline from over here, just imagine the castle being in the background right here and you just walking through here and just having this huge tower stick out of there. I think that's gonna look really amazing, so I'm looking forward to finishing this. But next up, I'd like to put some of these quartz pillars in each of the corners and then fill in the rest, not there, but fill in the rest with some smooth quartz. And to bring this out a bit, I'm thinking about using some stairs and alternating them with our pillars again. And then I think we can go out even further and alternate between slabs and stairs. And then obviously fill in all of the gaps that we have left. And then I'd like to bring up each of these pillars another 2 blocks. Yeah, I think that looks really awesome. Just imagine we have the first roof. And then we're gonna have a tiny bit sticking out over there and then a second smaller roof that peaks up to one central point at the top. And I think that's gonna look amazing. And to make this spawn proof, I'm gonna put in a floor right here. But I'm gonna make it the lower half slab so that nothing can spawn on it. And it looks like we missed a block there. But after that, I'd like to put in some arches. Just like so. And maybe still light this up. And at this point, I think we can start bringing this in again. So just kind of like the same pattern we did all the way on the lower side right here, but just flipped upside down. So the stairs are now facing upwards instead of downwards. So now we're at a point where we can put in like the second wall I talked about earlier. Okay, so I've done a little bit more work and now we can finally get on with the roof. Now this roof section right here is slacking a bit, so I think I'm just gonna use some slabs and kind of try to create this interesting pattern in the roof. And then in the middle I'd like to use the bottom texture, but now we need to get out. But I'd like to use the bottom texture of the composter and put in a bell right here. And let's look from afar. Yeah, that does look really cool. So let me add some final details and then we'll take a look at it together. This seems to be the wrong dimension. Where have we ended up? Anyway, this is the tower I built up. It looks pretty cool, I think. I really like it. Wait, are you saying I built this in the wrong dimension? Was I supposed to build this in the overworld? In our little village? Oh well. And see, the Operation Destruction has already begun. But all jokes aside, I decided to rebuild this in the Nether just as a nice little portal. We have all the basic boring portals of all the other members right here. And then we have this beauty. Just look at it. It does feel a bit out of place, but I mean, wherever you are going to notice this portal. And we even have a sign in here saying my town, and I named it Colle Verde, which means Green Hill in Italian. I don't speak Italian, but that's the best pronunciation I can do. And on to the other side, we end up in our lovely village where the Operation Destruction seems to continue. Okay, let's try not to get blown up, because that already happened here. But I also finished this tower with all of its details. And as you might notice, I also finished these 3 houses. And that's not even all of them. If we come around to the back right here, I also finished these 2 houses. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where did you come from? You aren't the same creeper that just stood up there, are you? No, that's a different one. Okay, somebody's trying to blow me up here. Alright, this time we're fine. And see, the first tourists arrive. Yeah, the town isn't yet open to tourists. Okay, on a serious note, I spent the last couple of days streaming and we built up this entire village. I especially love this building, which has like the really vibrant colors. And these are complementary colors, so they work together perfectly. And I think I'm going to use this combination a lot more throughout the entire city. So if you're interested in seeing more progress being made on this little town, join my streams over at twitch.tv/yjan22. And yeah, just hang out. We're having a good time there, some good fun. And for a final view of the progress we have made today, let's put on some shaders. Oh my god, somebody is really trying to distract me here. Okay, I'll worry about you guys later. But using these shaders, which are really vibrant, this town just feels even better. So if we just walk through here, especially this little thing, I don't know, this overhang just, it really gives me the vibes of being in an Italian village. I really love this place. But on that note, I am going to end the episode right here. We did a lot of progress, not a lot of it on camera though, which is not the worst thing. But we got a lot of progress done. I'm quite happy. So enjoy the rest of your day and I'll catch you in the next video.